When a high-profile franchise like the Lakers have a coaching vacancy, the rumor mill starts spinning quickly. When the Lakers have LeBron James on the roster, the mill starts spinning at breakneck speed. Coaches were being linked to the Lakers even before Frank Vogel was fired. Three of the bigger names, Nick Nurse of the Toronto Raptors, Quinn Snyder of the Utah Jazz, and Doc Rivers of the Philadelphia 76ers, are currently under contract with their respective teams. LA would have to make a trade to get either one. But there is another name that has been out of the NBA coaching game for a while that apparently LeBron James would be in favor of hiring. One of those candidates is Mark Jackson, who hasn't coached since the Golden State Warriors fired him in 2014. The stink around Jackson's name took a long time to clear as details emerged regarding his controversial Warriors tenure. Truthfully, it still probably hasn't cleared. According to Sam Amick of The Athletic, LeBron James will be very enthused by the prospect of Jackson landing the Lakers' job. Of course, LeBron will be supportive and has been of Jackson in the past. And let's not forget that Jackson is a Klutch Sports client. Of course, LeBron's going to speak well of a guy represented by the agency which he is vested. Also, it's not as if LeBron has been the best judge of coaching or players in the past. This is the guy who lobbied for Eric Spoelstra to get fired in Miami, and last summer he pushed the Lakers to trade for Russell Westbrook, and look how that turned out. Jackson is finally deserving of a second chance. Just don't forget how badly it ended in Golden State. Never mind the pitting players against one another mind games he was famous for playing, or the fact that Jackson lorded over a locker room environment so rife with paranoia that an assistant coach felt it necessary to record private conversations for fear of what was being said about him. Yes, Jackson instilled a committed defensive mentality that had long been absent in that organization, but a lot of that was personnel. Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut, and surprisingly defensively adept Klay Thompson. The offense, that was the problem. It was an old school ISO matchup dependent, and the passing was almost non-existent, making it too easy for defenses to focus on Steph Curry running a million pick and rolls with everyone else standing around. Working with basically the same roster that Jackson had, Steve Kerr took over in 2014 and immediately led the Warriors to 67 wins in a championship. Think about that. From 51 wins in a first round elimination in Jackson's final season to 67 wins in a championship fewer than 12 months later under Steve Kerr. Again, with essentially the same players. But hey, we always allow for and expect growth from young players, yet we tend to view coaches as finished products based on their latest performance. Maybe Jackson could do the same with a second chance. I doubt the Lakers will offer that opportunity, but if they did, it doesn't sound like LeBron would be opposed to it. To the Lakers front office's credit, they haven't given LeBron exactly what he wants every step of the way. At least they didn't this past February. LeBron and his camp were pushing for the Lakers to shake up the roster at the trade deadline. A trade would have likely included the team's 2027 first-round pick, and as we know, the franchise did not opt to do that.